the incomparable Fred is here on stage to join me. So Fred, what are we going to look at today? And can I participate?
Absolutely. Now, you can't talk about products, but I can. So
Okay.
we're going to talk about visual
intelligence. All right, Fred is going to talk about
Absolutely.
products. Okay. All right,
Cool.
Can I stand here?
You can stand right here next to
great.
me. Absolutely.
Good. I'm going to look.
Please. So we're going to look at visual intelligence, and this is our tool to turn everybody into a data geek. Steve, you talked about not just doing this later. You talked about doing this in real time, doing this yourself. So here's what we've done. We've taken all of the customer data, all the purchasing data from one of our customers, and we've loaded it into a HANA system.
And this is a chart.
This is a chart.
Okay.
We'll get to this chart in just 1 second.
Thank you.
Now, we did it in the HANA system. We could have very well done it in a BW system, used a universe, used even an Excel spreadsheet.
So this could be any source of data. It just happens to be the H word.
It's the H word for
Okay,
this one.
got it.
In this particular case, we use a specific feature in HANA called predictive analytics. Now, we took all that customer data, and we asked HANA to say, please group my customers by buying pattern, demographics, and geography. And out of that magical analysis, we got these 5 clusters. Right? So if we look at these 5 clusters, clearly clusters number 2, number 4, and number 5, the height of the clusters, the volume of business, we're clearly doing quite well with those customer segments. Whereas cluster number 1 and cluster number 3 are huge opportunities for improvement. Now, we normally ask everybody, who wants to know which customers you should sell to? And everybody raises their hands. Everybody raises their hands. Now, all right, cool.
Sorry, I didn't know I was supposed to do that.
No problem.
Okay, got it.
So now we're going to dig through this in real time, and we're going to find out which customers we should sell to.
Okay.
So the first thing I want to do is look at demographics. And I'm going to do it, in this particular case, I'm going to do a brand new graph just to show you guys how easy it is to use this. Now, what I want to look at is 2 things. I want to look at income, and I want to look at credit score for each of the clusters that we just looked at. So now I've got my average. Let's get the clusters here. Right? So there's my income, my credit score. And immediately I can see something that's really, really important here is that for cluster number 1, and I'll go back to it, it saves my progress. For cluster number 1, which is the clusters I'm not selling into, that's actually one of the clusters where there's the highest income and highest credit score. So that's the cluster that I want to target.
Well, do you know why, and I'm going to say it, do you know why I like the fact that it is running on HANA? After almost 20 years of business and business intelligence and analytics solutions overall, I have determined that if you would like to fail in a BI project, so this is only if your core objective or business goal is failure, is go to someone and say, I've given you access to all the data that you've asked for, it's just incredibly painfully slow. So if you have a core objective and it is do that, fail, then definitely make it slow. And what I love about HANA in this case is I'm engaged because it's there. I mean, I'm able to go through it as quickly. And I've thought about this actually, and maybe it's just because I've had some really long flights recently, like back from Istanbul, to contemplate this. And I know people get poetic at 40,000 feet, and I did too. But I was wondering, why do people always default back to things like Excel? I'm going to go ahead and say it. Do you know why?
Because it's easy.
And it's fast.
Fast.
It's fast and easy, right? You know what I like about that? I'm going to say the same thing.
It's fast and it's easy.
It's fast and it's easy. That's exactly right. So for me, the thing that jumps off at the page is it's not about pushing a product. It's about a user experience. That's what it is about. It's about. And if you think about, do I personally feel engaged when I look at this? Yes. Because it's fast, and it's relevant, and it's easy. And I love that, Fred. Absolutely do.
Cool. Well, let's see if we can find out even more. And that's the kind of conversation we want to be having. We don't want to have to go to programmers. We don't want to have to wait till tomorrow. We want to have our data and be able to visualize it in any way we want.
Yeah.
It's always been challenging to look at data geographically. So let's find out where our customers are. And again, I'm going to do it right from scratch just to show the audience how easy it is to do this. So let's take a look at where our customers are. So let's get our count. See, I'm going to drag that over here. Get our count, and let's go by city in this case. Now, Visual Intelligence actually recognizes geography, so I can simply take a region, in this case a US state, and I can drop it on here, and I can say, let's take a look at this as a geographic chart. And there it is, okay? And the intensity of the colors and number of customers we have in each of these regions. Now, in the past, you might have done this, you might have drawn this in PowerPoint. This is actually a live map connected to real data in a database that gets updated in real time. So this was a huge challenge, and we've done it here in about 30 seconds.
It's fantastic. Yep. Well, I think the visuals, again, the experience is just awesome.
It's absolutely awesome. Now watch this one. This is actually really cool. So let's find out which geographies and who we should market to. So these are the 5 clusters. Actually quite obvious here. You can actually see the groups. I wanted to show them to you this way because it makes it really obvious. But cluster number 1 was the clusters that we wanted to target. So let's just grab these guys. And I'm going to grab the top of cluster number 2. I'm actually doing that on purpose. I'm going to filter and say, let's focus just on these particular customers. Let's find out where they are. And simply by turning this graph into a tag cloud, these are the geographies. If I'm going to go to market today, if I'm going to do some marketing, some promotions, these are the geographies I want to target.
So it turns out you're big in Helena, Montana.
Big in Helena, Montana, absolutely.
Yes, that's a big market for SAP too.
This is real data, guys. So now, just to show you how granular we are, let's forget.
No offense if you're from Helena, we love
Helena.
it. Big, yeah.
Oh, but let's actually take a look at this.
Helena,
Let's actually
Montana.
take a look at the individual customers here. I'm actually going to say, let's find out the last names. These are the best customers that we have to market to individually by name.
Sanders.
We've done this under 2 minutes.
In Helena.
Sanders is now our most important customer.
Awesome. That's outstanding. I love it. Well, you know, the other thing about it, just real quickly, is I think the visualization, at the end of the day, and I've thought a lot about this, there's about 8,000 different ways that you can visualize this information. You could certainly, if you wanted to, if your product, for example, was, you know, cars, you could have the graph be presented as a car. The point is not to try in Visual Intelligence or Visi to present the 8,000 ridiculous ways that you could visualize data. What it's about is to get you to visualize data in a related form or fashion. So it's movement from one view of data to another. It's going from, in a simple fashion, a bubble chart to, in this case, a tag cloud, and being able to flow between those visualizations without starting over. That's the whole point of this, and I think that's incredibly powerful.